All right, you guys, thanks so much for joining me. This is my 8 weeks to better health, brought to you by Live All Naturally, and I'm Sherry Sancholi. When I started doing my Zoom recordings, March of 24, I set a goal of doing them for a year. And I was doing these little, like, 15-minute espresso chats. You'll find them on my YouTube. You're probably on my channel right now if you're watching this. And it was fun. And as I was rounding the calendar year and approaching January and February, I wanted to end on a high note. So I decided to do like an 8 week course as opposed to just like eight more classes and kind of fade out. So that's what inspired the 8 weeks to better health. Um, why am I in my home salon teaching you about how to be healthier, about doTERRA products, about lifestyle hacks? Well, you know, I already felt healthy throughout my life, but luckily I'm open minded and curious by nature, and that has prompted me to learn more. And there's been some key things that have helped me to level up my health. For my own personal journey, it was getting sober in 1988. And then the next thing was at some point I found chiropractic care, but I don't remember the year, but it was decades ago when I was a hairstylist in La Jolla. And then the next significant thing was I became a yogi in 2012, became a certified teacher in 2019. I don't teach so often. Like, I've only taught like 4 classes, but that's not why I took it. I took it because I wanted to learn more about the practice, the spiritual walk, and it's been life changing for myself. And now Doug and I share the joy of yoga. In 2018, I found doTERRA. And again, just luckily I'm curious. And I was like, yeah, I want to learn about essential oils and plant-based products. And I already felt like I was fairly healthy. And since then, my health has increased and I have less brain fog, more vitality, less aches and pains in my joints. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Less aches and pains in my joints. My stepson used to say to us, how come when you first get out of bed, you walk funny? And it was before doTERRA. And this is like, what, 7 years ago? And we were like, well, we're old, like we just thought that that was what happens. And we weren't even that old. And through taking the vitamins, frankincense, turmeric, things that are helping us with our joint health, we just get up in the morning, we walk, we don't have to work the kinks out. So, just a few examples of how my life has improved so much from these products. So, I get to go adventure. This is from a sailboat race down to Cabo. My husband and I are enjoying our new puppy, which takes a lot of strength. Yesterday, she bolted to see a dog, and I was holding the leash, and I was like, "Oh, thank God I'm, able to handle a 70-pound rambunctious puppy." Our granddaughter and our 4 kids, all of these moments with them and our friends, we want to be fully present and we want to get the most out of our moments. So I'm the kind of person where if I'm onto something, I want to share it. I don't want to keep it to myself and be like, wow, that was a great TV show, or I love this restaurant, or these products or lifestyle hacks are really helping my health. I want everybody to know about it. So here I am sharing with you. So today we're going to talk about a 30-day cleanse. It's a really great way to go because it's good that it takes 30 days because that means it's gentle. It's not going to be too extreme. You can still eat your food with it. You're not chained to your home or your restroom. You're able to just go and live your life. Hopefully you're eating a little bit on the healthier side of your spectrum, but you're able to, still be out in the world. And I love that. And also health wise, it's not good for everybody to do those extreme cleanses that are so um extreme, for lack of better words. It's I have low blood sugar. I wouldn't do well not eating. I wouldn't do well, having such an extreme process. I need it to be slow and steady. So this is why I love this cleanse. And honestly, I've never done other cleanses because I was afraid. And I think it was healthy fear because yeah, I'm not made that way. Um, and every week I've tried to highlight just one product. I've tried to tell you about several products so that you're learning, but then if you wanted to do it experientially, I've tried to highlight just one product a week so that if you wanted to, you could order the products, start at the beginning, watch my YouTubes, and each week add a product to your repertoire. So today I'm highlighting the EO Omega Plus, which is our fish oil. I had several people on this call this morning, including Kim, who we went to convention with last um, together. We went to convention last September, but I hadn't hit record. Oh, don't you hate that? So I said, let's just keep going. Luckily, I caught it right before our guest speaker got too far in. He was like 30 seconds in. So I'm like, Dr. Jason, we got to stop. I got to hit record. So we got the rest of the program, the class this morning recorded with other people present. But I told them when we're done, I'm just going to go back and record the beginning. So Kim and I, when we were at convention last fall in Utah, we met the fisherman from Norway that's heading up this project. He's our farmer, and it's so cool that you get to meet like real life people who are making a difference in other people's lives. Fish oil is really important. It's going to boost your brain, balance your body, and it's going to help with all of these different systems: your visual, vascular, cognitive. Great for your heart, nervous system, respiratory. It's going to balance your omega-3 and 6 fatty acids in the blood, promote a healthy metabolism in your GI tract, and help maintain a healthy lipid profile already in a normal range. And so, what's in it? You know, what's all the fuss? Well, it's going to have all these different kinds of fish, uh, wild caught cod, cusk, haddock, herring, ling, mackerel, pollock, deep water redfish, whiting, and blue whiting. Each serving has 900 milligrams of the omega-3 fatty acids, which includes 800 milligrams of essential fatty acids, EPA and DHA. And it has orange essential oil. So why is that such a big deal? Well, right off the bat, I imagine you guessed that it's going to taste better. And you're right. I used to have to keep my fish oil in the refrigerator to try to minimize the fishiness, and we don't do that anymore. So I love that. But I found this interesting when I was preparing for these slides that wild orange has 95% limonene. And so it can impact and improve your heart. So on its own, it's going to help your health with helping with your cholesterol, oxidation, the energy, and inflammatory response of your heart. But it also will help prevent the oxidation of the fish oil. So it's going to help preserve your fish oil and have it more effective when you ingest it. And also, you're right, it just tastes good. So we've got that. Oh, and also too, last time when I did this not recorded, I digressed and explained that doTERRA tests our products in 54 rounds of tests, and 11 of those are done with a third party. And then we publish all the results on a website called source2you.com. So it's nice to know, you know, Kim and I last year and Doug and I the year before, and before that, I went with Lisa. I always tour corporate office because I always tend to go with new people. And I think it's really important to see, like, meet the scientists, meet the chemists, really get that, like, doTERRA really puts their money where their mouth is. You know, they don't have brokers. Brokers are all about profit. They interact directly with the farmers, and the farmers are 95% of our farmers are exclusive to us. And that's because we pay them fairly on time. We're good to our farmers. I mean, I could spend a whole hour just talking about that whole thing. Every convention, the farmers come. We fly in a few of them from all over the world. And we're all so grateful for this relationship because it's a win-win for sure. And we're helping to build schools and health clinics and water treatment centers. We even built a wall around a compound in Africa. And when we were asked to do this, we said, "Oh, why is it like not safe here?" And they said, "No, it's very safe, but the elephants trample through, and we want our children to not be in harm's way." So all kinds of great stories come from our relationship with the farmers. So why cleanse? Added just a fun picture just to keep it fresh. It's going to enhance your mood, increase your energy, improve elimination, enhance metabolism, support your nervous system, and it's going to improve your digestive function. So it's just a great reset for your gut health. And gut health is responsible for breaking down your food and absorbing nutrients. Absorbing nutrients is essential for your body to function well. I've heard this before, and I think it's fascinating. 70% of our immune system resides in your gut. So it's so important to have a healthy gut. It's so important to take care of all of that so that you can function and fight off disease. It's also really important for your mental health because it also affects your mood and your anxiety levels. So, how important is that? All right. I was raised by engineers. I love a good spreadsheet. I wanted to include this to show you that we have we've got you. You know, it's not going to be daunting to try to take on something that lasts for 30 days. We have this tracker, and I just want to explain briefly how this goes. The first one, two, three, five, six products are something that you're going to take every day. And after the cleanse is over, it's possible you might take some or all of these ongoing because they're really great for foundational health. We have our VMG Plus, which is a vitamin mineral green powder. You just drink in a little bit of water. I personally add collagen with it. Love that product. And then the E Omega fish oil is another great standby, like, you know, really great for brain acuity, overall health. And then your PB Restore is your gut health. That's our probiotic, and it's actually a pre, post, and probiotic. And all of that is just good going forward. Zindicrine Detox Complex is a great way to support your liver and other internal organs. Terrazyme is something that we use ongoing, and it's a really great digestive enzyme. It's going to help you break down your food, especially if you're eating a little late, something a little heavy, a little carby. You take it 30 minutes before you eat, and it will help liquefy your food, allowing you to absorb more of the nutrients and not be so feeling bogged down after your meal. And then lemon essential oil into your water every day, a great antioxidant. We've also come out with MetaPower, this whole line. That's where I get my collagen from. And MetaPower has a really lovely 5 oil blend that has lemon, grapefruit, ginger, peppermint, and cinnamon. And that's an alternative to this. I digress. I have so much passion for their products. I hope I'm not telling you too much. Um, so once you get that going and you're going to do that daily, then in addition to that, you're going to have 3 cycles of 10 days. And each cycle, you're going to introduce one product into this repertoire. And then it's going to step out and you're going to introduce the second, step out, and then a third. And what those are is the first group of 10, you're going to take Zindicrine soft gels. And that's going to help assist your body with naturally detoxing, kind of get things going, get you prepped for the cleanse. The second set of 10 days is your GX Assist, and that purifies your digestive system. So that's going to, I've heard it likened to it's like a street sweeper for your gut. It's going to really do the work and really hit a reset for your body and really clarify your GI tract. And then the last 10 days are your DDR Prime soft gels, which is really powerful in supporting cellular health and renewal. So it's a fabulous reset for your gut. He had already been going to personalized chiropractic before Dr. Jason found it. And we know chiropractic health is important, and it was good, but we didn't realize how good it could be because Dr. Jason is just exceptionally gifted and talented. He's very intuitive. We would come in and he does something different every time. So it never feels like a cookie cutter, just crack and go. Like he's very conscious about what you need that day and very thorough and very intuitive. Like we'll be like halfway through our session and I'm like, oh, I meant to tell you my rib went out funny because I sneezed really hard. And he's like, yeah, I already got that. He really is a gifted person. And I feel like he falls in the category of people who, no matter what he took on, he would have been successful at. But lucky for us, he took on being a chiropractor. So he's located down in North PB, and that's just south of La Jolla. It's on the corner of Mission and Missouri. And in this office, you'll also find Dr. Andrew Keating, who's the acupuncturist that spoke a few weeks ago. So I'm really pleased that he offered to be our speaker. He's just really a delightful human. And so take it away, Dr. Jason.
So I'm just going to riff off of it. I'm going back to what I said. I'm just going to riff off of the initial presentation in respects to detoxification. It's a super consistent question in the clinic where people are very, very much afraid of feeling like crap for an extended period of time. There's just all these different avenues that you can follow. And with our actual practitioners in the office, like Dr. Andrew has an herbal cleanses that he uses with Eastern medicine. I actually have doTERRA as an offering for people with it because it's actually more of the elongated detox, and you can still consistently eat your healthy, more you're still eating food basically instead of just doing liquid and or just capsules. So with detoxing, and it does really, really come into play of what we're actually trying to detox out of the body as well. Um, our functional nutritionist, Lynette, does a lot of binding to get the liver going and then taking supplements to actually bind and actually like coagulate the stuff to get it out of your body so you're not constantly recycling. That's actually the biggest stumbling block for a lot of people is that they're not doing support outside of the detox, meaning binding foods, which a lot of the doTERRA products actually naturally has binders in it, which is pretty awesome. That collagen is really helpful in doing that. Um, like consistent, I'm going to say it in the Finnish standpoint, the sauna or sauna, as Californians love to say, is super amazing for detoxing consistently through your largest organ, which is your skin. And then obviously lemon in your water, you can do that every day. It's amazing. That in that lemon oil is amazing. Like I use it on, I actually put it on my dog to be like, believe it or not, for skin stuff. It works really, really well. And he smells good. So, um, given those circumstances, it's one of those things where you, I very much believe like you have to have a plan. So I follow Sherry's kind of, would you say engineer? You had engineers in your family? Engineering aspect of it. Like you have a plan. Like know why you're doing this, what's your intention, and what is it that you're trying to actually excrete from your system. And recognize that whatever you're going after is going to have an effect once it's actually ejected from your cells. You're going to have to get it out of your body somehow. And I do find that doTERRA is on the more gentle side of it. Just to do it on the flip side, so our functional nutritionist has an amazing, Lynette has this amazing new, I mean, she calls it a weight loss program, but it's actually a really intense detox program where literally for 6 weeks you are in a keto diet. You're measuring your actual anaerobic breath cycle to see how much protein you're burning, but it's actually in the formulation is meant to induce human chorionic growth hormone slash the whole chemical cascade that happens during pregnancy for women. Because you're generating life, you're actually then having to basically get all of the building blocks for life into this new baby, right? That's how pregnancy works. But this detox program is meant to initiate that cascade, which makes people lose weight because they're actually excreting all these cells at this point. So it's like so extreme that you go through this whole like brain fog period, your liver just like almost like is just jutting out everything. And the craziness is you can't even put lotion on your body. You can't put lip balm on. You can't put makeup. You can't put anything on your body because your skin, again, going back to the largest excretor of your system, is actually, it compromises the fat and the chemistry in your system will actually counteract the hormone cascade that it's trying to initiate. That's how extreme that one is. Like it is beyond. Like I've looked into the research and I know for myself I can't do it. I couldn't do it. It's just I like food too much. I like to have live my life on a regular basis. So I always opt for more gentle detoxing situations. And I tend to tell people it's best to do it with seasons, like seasonal changes. So every 4 months out of the year. So spring, summer, winter, fall, basically transition you into like now would be so as spring equinox comes and we actually move into summer here in San Diego. I don't know about you guys, but I my diet completely changes. Like I'm kind of heavier foods. I like more red wine. I like kind of like the more like winter salads and stuff, like hot food. and it's more soupy kind of things. And then all of a sudden I shift into I want salads, I want fish, I want like really light fruits and vegetables and those types of things. And then fall comes around and it's kind of the holidays that falls in, but around those time periods when you're making those seasonal transitions is the best time to do detox programs because your body is already following the cycles of the planet, which it is what it is at that point because we're kind of locked into that. So, um, I don't, what is there anything else? Like, what else do you want me to chat about in respects to?
Kim or Doug, did you have any questions for Dr. Jason or? Well, I think it's interesting the seasonal aspect because we were going to start it in April. I wonder if it would be, is it better to start it like mid-March into mid-April so that it goes over the equinox or?
That honestly, like a lot of research, and even just if you think about it from generational time, like t Dr. Andrew can give you more information on this, but I know this to be a fact is that through all of this human evolution, that it's always been found that the time that you align with the Earth's patterns
Mhm.
is when your body is actually going through the processes succinctly and at the same time. So it's a situation where I think you always hear this, right? The full moon comes along, and we know this to be in the industry that individuals will, like hospitals and ERs and stuff, fill up with random more people on a full moon. Me personally, never look at a calendar. I don't know when the full moon is, and then all of a sudden I'm not sleeping well at night. And I'm like, what is going on? And I'll look at the calendar. I'm like, oh, full moon, 4 days. Got it. And it's
Right.
usually like 4 or 5 days prior to the full moon. My body is just like it just doesn't want to sleep. It's just activated. All the things are happening. I'm not a one-off either. It's very consistent. I see it on a daily basis with individuals. So taking that whole philosophy into the detox realm as well, with the seasonal changes, it's so effective, so effective. And ironically, I tell people this often. I get a lot of patients coming in, they'll be like, I'm so tired these days. Like we're in the winter, right? We're in winter in San Diego right now. But if you live elsewhere, there's like a foot and a half of snow. It's 20 below. It's super cold, all of those things. And what are those people doing? They're staying indoors all the time. We unfortunately are getting out. We kind of feel the obligation to get out because there's sun and stuff. But I always tell people, I'm like, give yourself the benefit of the doubt. Right now, it's winter. Like, what do bears do in the winter? They hibernate. Just let your body kind of chill, let it calm down, let it restore, let it build up for the rest of the year, basically. And that
Right.
includes nutrition. So, and that includes like doing a good detox. I always tell people, I'm like, this time of the year for the transition that we would have had into winter would have been when you do your really intense detox, because that sets you up for restoration, cell turnover, all of those things.
That
And then
makes
going into
sense.
summer is more of like kind of a kind of a reset.
I like that. So if you were
Yeah.
going to pick just two out of the four, going into winter and going into summer would be the first rung, and then if you're going to do it four times, add spring and fall.
Yeah. That's ideal. Yeah.
Yeah, I love all that. And it's true. We are supposed to slow down just like the trees lose their leaves and kind of take a beat. It's
Everything's
hard,
in dormancy. Like if you look at the trees, like even here, like we have trees that don't have leaves on them right now, which
right?
people think that that's not a thing. And to be honest, I didn't know that until I moved to California. I was like, oh, there's actually seasons here. Like the plants don't stay green all the time. So,
And to me,
so
the waves get bigger in the winter. That's how I can
yeah,
tell it's
yeah,
winter.
exactly. So again, that's like Earth cycles, and even like looking at the tides and stuff. That's the same. It goes back to that whole thing. What are we? We're 78% water, 82% water? I can't remember the number.
Uh,
But we are affected by tide shifts. Like
right.
it's so evident.
Yeah,
People,
more women go into labor during full
yep,
moon because it affects
which
their,
is moving tide. Labor is moving tide.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's interesting. It's really interesting when you really do correlate and kind of move with the seasons, especially in the detox realm. It's way more effective.
Oh, that's good to know. Okay, one
Not
last
to
question
mention,
is if if we're trying to do it around the spring equinox, Does it matter if that actual day is the beginning of our cleanse, the middle of our cleanse, or the end of our cleanse?
It's best to actually have it in the middle.
Okay.
If you do an elongated one, it's best to have it in the middle.
Okay.
A good analogy is here in the clinic, we with Lynette, who does a lot of the functional muscle testing, she does a lot of like parasitic cleansing and like bacterial cleansing and stuff, which when you're muscle testing, you'll see what portion of the body is actually, or what organ system in the body, or what organ in particular is actually really compromised.
Hmm.
And then she'll muscle test with certain pathogens. And believe it or not, like I actually do very much, I'm gonna get a little woo-woo out here for 1 second. I
Please.
very much do believe that the full moon effect is actually, we know this for a fact. Scientifically speaking, we know this for a fact that parasites, bacteria, and viruses become more active during a full moon and a new moon, and more aggressively on a full moon. So the situation is that if people are doing parasitic detoxes or cleanses and or bacterial or whatever, usually more parasites, you want to actually hit them when they're most active. And that's when they're going to actually leave your body. So we always call it the full moon cleanse. Like everyone is like coming in for their supplements, doing their thing around the full moon. And again, I just being a clinician, you see some really strange stuff comes in around the full moon. And I always like in the woo-woo aspect, I very much wonder sometimes, I'm like, are we talking to parasites right now or are we talking to the human? I don't know.
I
Because
have
they
a
are a life source. They are a life force that are trying to survive. That's the definition of a parasite. They're trying to survive off of you. And if you as the human are pulling their life force, your energy or their food or whatever it may be, they're gonna want you to have sugar. They're gonna want you to have fermented foods. They want you to have like super fresh cheeses because that's what they live off of. That's the
Oh,
fat that
that's
they
so interesting. Yeah,
distribute.
you're the host.
Yeah, you're the
Yeah.
host.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question,
Yes. And I
Dr.
wanted to
Jason.
introduce you. This is my
Yeah.
dear friend Nancy. This is Dr. Jason.
Hi, sorry I'm late on the uptake, but I was wondering if you could speak for just a little bit, 30 seconds, whatever, but about intermittent fasting, like not eating between midnight and noon or 10 o'clock in the morning or 8 p.m., like good 10 or 12 hours. Or
For sure.
is there any info on that I could get? Because I do that kind of regularly
Mhm.
just by don't want to eat when I wake up.
Intuition, to be honest with you. I really do feel like if you follow and listen to your body more often than not, I always use this analogy, like think of like a wild dog or a wolf. Do they eat every day?
No,
No.
they,
They binge eat basically, right? So they
yeah,
eat,
they
get ex-
kill and overeat.
they overeat, and then they're satiated, and their
Yeah,
body is then absorbing the nutrients that it needs, and then it just basically goes on with its life for a day, a week, whatever it may be.
yeah,
So it's not unnatural for humans to intermittent fast. And actually it's very good for you to actually give your body a rest, giving your organ systems a rest, but besides like giving it that constant deluge of digestion and
yeah.
detoxification and all the
I'm
things.
not using any discipline. I'm not very good at the discipline part, but I just organically don't want to eat.
There's your discipline right there. Follow it, trust it.
You're
Yeah,
natural.
yeah.
It
I
doesn't work
can't
for some
take any
it does,
credit though.
And she's very healthy. So
but
there's
it
that.
doesn't work for some people because
Yeah,
of body chemistry. So
yeah,
if you have like diabetes or any type of underlying situations or
yeah.
diseases, it's
That could
not
be a
good
problem.
because
Yeah,
you're going into glucose deprivation and all that, and it
yeah,
really sets the chemistry off to
yeah,
asunder basically.
yeah. Thank
So
you.
it really does depend on the person, but
Yeah.
following intuition honestly is the best.
I appreciate your time so much. Let's see what we have left. Oh, I thought this was a great slide for, along the lines of cleansing. We also want to make sure that when we talk about diet, that we're also thinking about what thoughts, what are we putting into our mind? So if you feel yourself getting into stinking thinking or future tripping, as the kids say, here's some ideas of how to kind of hit a reset for your mind's health. Some deep breathing, make sure you're getting quality sleep. That makes such a difference. We have great products for sleep and you can refer back to my YouTube on that. Journaling is always a great way to process. I found out after my dad had passed, that actually he did a lot of journaling. I didn't know that about him. When he was alive, he was like an engineer on the outside, but he really had like a lot of yogic practices. I don't think he realized it was yogic. Digital detox, make sure that you're, putting down your phone from time to time. Self-talk, watch what you're saying.
Gary, just
And
just one thing, I just want to highlight that digital detox piece.
yes,
That
please.
is paramount these days for a lot of people. Like I can even you can just see it when people come in the office and their head is down looking at a phone. Like digital detoxing is one of the best things anybody can do, especially in the seasonal shift as well. Like people know this about me. Like I don't know if you guys know this about me, but on Sundays, like if you want to get a hold of me, you need to either call my partner or someone else because I always take my phone and I turn my phone off and I throw it in a drawer.
I remember
Every
that.
Sunday. I
Yes.
never respond to anything on Sundays.
Yeah. Good for you.
So
Yeah.
it's just one of those things where just taking that pressure off of your mind consistently, even the
Mm.
visual stimulation of looking at the blue light is
It's just
really bad for your
constant.
brain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have a yoga teacher on Tuesdays that at the end of the class, she's like, and please put your phones away, don't be on your phones too much. And
Yeah.
Karina, who I reference a lot, who is our yoga teacher that has transitioned, she, during her yoga teacher training, like the deep dive of 200 hours, she asked no shoes on the deck because the deck's sacred, no electronics, and no plastic. Oh, and no animals, like no meat. Um, just vegetables, fruits, if you're going to eat lunch on the deck. And the shoes are something that we always hold up because it's just grody too. But we're not going to be so hardcore with people that are just popping in for a yoga class. It's a little different level of study, and it's really hard for me if someone's in my line of sight and class hasn't started yet and they're just sitting on their mat and they're just like on their phones. It's like I came here to just unplug. And yeah, I think the digital detox is a big one. The self talks, one of the fun things that I do if I find myself thinking a little bit on the negative side or being not so upbeat, I trace the face to where I'm getting these messages from. Like it's not from me. Like where did I get this input? And that helps me process why I'm going down this rabbit hole. Mindfulness meditation is always so great. We've done some classes on that. With pain, I think was the class where we talked about visualizing the green orb of light. Creative expression, make sure that everybody is creative. Everybody. I mean, I'm a hairstylist, I paint, I know I'm creative, but you know what? Everybody is. And so it doesn't have to be art or music or writing. Like whatever makes you feel like you're out of the box, please find that for yourself. Physical activity, doesn't matter what it is, just keep your body in motion. And then nature, my naturopathic doctor who spoke last week, Dr. Moira, one time prescribed me just walking barefoot on the beach. Like here's your prescription for the day. Get down to the beach, take off your shoes, ground yourself into the sand. And Doug and I, when we go to the beach, we rarely bring towels. Like we just like to lay in the sand, just really
Nice.
be one with the beach. So each week we had a habit. If you've been watching, I've been having so much fun doing these classes. So thank you so much for indulging me. And so this week, your habit is to take your fish oil along with your vitamins. And when you do, stop and just take 3 slow, deep breaths and say some positive things about your self-care. And lastly, I think, well, there might be one more slide. I took a course like this a few years ago and it was good. And I learned, and it was like very sweet of the lady to do and very helpful. The one thing that I decided to do differently when I created mine is at the end of that course that I took, I just felt flooded. Like I had all these great ideas, but I wasn't putting them into place. So every week, if you go back and see the first week, you will only see your tip about how to handle stress. The next week, it'll have 2 habits. The next week, it had 3. And we worked our way up. And now today we have 8 habits. So if you're feeling stressed, you have your adaptive oil, box breathing, and pausing. If you need to sleep better, go back and reference that YouTube video because it will do a deep dive on how to get a better night's sleep. But the takeaway nutshell version is just 2 hours before bedtime, start thinking about unwinding. Like Dr. Jason says, yeah, bye.
Bye.
You got to
Bye,
go. Bye.
Jason.
Bye, guys.
Bye. We ran a little late, I think.
Keep going.
Okay, thank you. And so reducing pain, you're going to use your deep blue and that green, meditating on the healing light, boosting your immune system, moving. I thought that was interesting. That's something I learned doing these presentations. I knew exercise was important. I didn't understand that it helped your immune system. So how great is that? And we have On Guard that helps support your immune system. Personal care, great way to reduce toxins in your body because, like Dr. Jason said today, our biggest organ is our skin. Be careful about what you're using for soap and lotions and all that. House cleaners, On Guard concentrate is a great way to make dish soap, spray cleaner, all kinds of stuff. Last week with Dr. Moira, we talked about our VMG Plus powder. It's vitamins, minerals, and greens. We like it because it tastes good and it only takes like this much water. You froth it up. I add collagen, great way to start our day. And then today we talked about the omega-3 or the EO Mega Plus omega oils.
Sherry, back to the dishwashing detergent.
Yes.
Is that that's the little cubes, right? That you add water to?
No,
Or
we do have pods, but the pods are from a line in doTERRA called Abode, and those are for the dishwasher.
That okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, but for the dish soap, you can do one of two things. Our original line is On Guard, and it comes in a little plastic bottle, and I like it for the RV. It's great for RVs and boats and things like that because it's so versatile. So you can make up some dish soap, you can make up some spray cleaner, you can also spot treat laundry. Like it just works a million different ways over.
So
And
is it the same as the spray cleaner? Because I use the spray cleaner on my counters, but
I think you have the Abode.
yeah.
Okay, but
Okay.
yeah, both are from doTERRA, both are plant-based, both are safe. Like what I like about both of those spray cleaners, whether you use the On Guard or the Abode, both from doTERRA, is that like if your dog goes and licks the floor after you've spray cleaned it, it's not going to hurt them. It doesn't hurt you to breathe it. And are you happy with the spray cleaner?
I love it
Oh, good.
because of those same reasons. It's safe.
Yes, I know.
And I think it's really highly effective. And it lasts a really long time.
It really does. And the little bottles, this is their big overarching theme when they came out with the Abode line is for it to be good for the conscious consumer. So everything is comes in highly recyclable packages without the added water because that it impacts our carbon footprint.
Yeah.
And so you get this little bottle, you put it in a big spray bottle, you add water,
Yeah.
and
No, it's really smart, but I
yeah.
do need something in the way of dishwashing detergent
Okay.
replacement.
For dishwashing detergent, you can use, and I'll help you off screen um, today or whenever you have time.
So
But
Doug doesn't have to listen to it.
yeah, the on guard concentrate is one option, and then Abode also makes just a pre-made dishwashing, for hand washing dishes soap, and that comes in like an aluminum bottle, so it's all really great for the planet.
I
So
don't think I have those, so I'd probably want the concentrate. I like that idea, but
yeah,
I
I do.
don't think I have it. So I
Okay,
need to get that.
we'll definitely talk about that after this
Yeah.
class.
Oh, and I thought I was going to have just as a quick aside, because
Yeah.
um, I thought I was going to have to replace my spray nozzle, my
Oh,
sprayer, your beautiful brown bottle sprayers with
yes,
the
amber glass.
architectural squirter.
Yes,
And I thought, why isn't this working? And I kept not giving up on it. And
good.
I soaked it and I thought, no, it's dead. I said that about 3 times and I went, no, I'm going to keep trying. I finally cleared it in vinegar and water.
Good.
It was not broken. It just had a little bit of clog after many moons.
Oh, well, that's good to
Yeah.
know. And it gives me the option or opportunity to say doTERRA has like Nordstrom's level of customer service. So if you
Yeah.
ever call 1-800-411-8151, a human answers, they
Yeah.
don't read off a script and they
Yeah.
just have a conversation like this and say, oh, Nancy, we'll just send you a new one.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
if people are giving up on their squirter, tell them to not
okay.
give up and, It will clear. It is very high functioning, and it's
That's
probably
so,
just clogged because they're very minuscule holes.
they
Right.
are. I
Yeah.
noticed that. Yeah. No, really great feedback. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Well,
Um,
good.
yeah. And then if anybody's interested in a cleanse, I was going to start at April 1st, but now listening to Dr. Jason, I'm sure the equinox is around the 21st of March. It's usually the 20th or the 21st of every 3 months. So, and he said in the middle. So maybe we need to start at like the 7th of March, which is like next
Yeah.
week. So, if you're interested in a cleanse, let me know. And it's $275 for the entire cleanse, and it will last you a month. And that includes your vitamins, your fish oils, like a great thing to do. And then, yeah, let's connect. This is how you get a hold of me. Screenshot it. If you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe. And I think that wraps it up. I did it. I did it. I did it. I did it. So,
Congratulations.